Solomon, Master of the Demons by Ginzberg. Never has there lived a man privileged, like Solomon, to make the demons amenable to his will. God endowed him with the ability to turn the vicious power of demons into a power working to the advantage of men. He invented formulas of incantation by which diseases were alleviated, and others by which demons were exorcised, so that they were banished forever. 48. As his personal attendants he had spirits and demons whom he could send hither and thither on the instant. He could grow tropical plants in Palestine, because his ministering spirits secured water for him from India. 49. As the spirits were subservient to him, so also the animals. He had an eagle upon whose back he was transported to the desert and back again in one day, to build there the city called Tadmor in the Bible. 50. This city must not be confounded with the later Syrian city of Palmyra, also called Tadmor. It was situated near the mountains of darkness. 51. The trysting place of the spirits and demons. Thither the eagle would carry Solomon in the twinkling of an eye, and Solomon would drop a paper inscribed with a verse among the spirits, to ward off evil from himself. Then the eagle would reconnoiter the mountains of darkness, until he had spied out the spot in which the fallen angels Azar and Azil, 52, lie chained with iron fetters, a spot which no one, not even a bird, may visit. When the eagle found the place, he would take Solomon under his left wing and fly to the two angels. Through the power of the ring having the holy name graven upon it, which Solomon put into the eagle's mouth, Azar and Azil were forced to reveal the heavenly mysteries to the king. 53. The demons were of greatest service to Solomon during the erection of the temple. It came about in this wise: when Solomon began the building of the temple, it once happened that a malicious spirit snatched away the money and the food of one of the king's favorite pages. This occurred several times, and Solomon was not able to lay hold on the malefactor. The king besought God fervently to deliver the wicked spirit into his hands. His prayer was granted. The archangel Michael appeared to him, and gave him a small ring having a seal consisting of an engraved stone, and he said to him, "Take, O Solomon, king, son of David, the gift which the Lord God, the highest Zebaoth, hath sent unto thee. With it thou shalt lock up all the demons of the earth, male and female, and with their help thou shalt build up Jerusalem. But thou must wear this seal of God, and this engraving of the seal of the ring sent thee is a pentalpha." Orneas, the vampire spirit who had maltreated Solomon's servant, was the first demon to appear, and he was set to the task of cutting stones near the temple. And Solomon bade Orneas come, and he gave him the seal, saying, "Away with thee, and bring me hither the prince of all the demons." Orneas took the finger ring and went to Beelzebul, who has kingship over the demons. He said to him, "Hither, Solomon calls thee." But Beelzebul, having heard, said to him, "Tell me, who is this Solomon of whom thou speakest to me?" Then Orneas threw the ring at the chest of Beelzebul, saying, "Solomon the king calls thee." But Beelzebul cried aloud with a mighty voice, and shot out a great burning flame of fire, and he arose and followed Orneas and came to Solomon. Brought before the king, he promised him to gather all the unclean spirits unto him. Beelzebul proceeded to do so, beginning with Onoskeles, that had a very pretty shape and the skin of a fair-hued woman, and he was followed by Asmodeus, both giving an account of themselves. Beelzebul reappeared on the scene, and in his conversation with Solomon declared that he alone survived of the angels who had come down from heaven. He reigned over all who are in Tartarus, and had a child in the Red Sea, which on occasion comes up to Beelzebul and reveals to him what he has done. Next the demon of the ashes, Tephros, appeared, and after him a group of 7 female spirits, who declared themselves to be of the 36 elements of the darkness. Solomon bade them dig the foundation of the temple, for the length of it was 250 cubits, and he ordered them to be industrious, and with one united murmur of protest they began to perform the tasks enjoined. Solomon bade another demon come before him, and there was brought to him a demon having all the limbs of a man but without a head. The demon said to Solomon, "I am called Envy, for I delight to devour heads, being desirous to secure for myself a head, but I do not eat enough, and I am anxious to have such a head as thou hast." A hound-like spirit, whose name was Rabdos, followed, and he revealed to Solomon a green stone, useful for the adornment of the temple. A number of other male and female demons appeared, among them the 36 world rulers of the darkness, whom Solomon commanded to fetch water to the temple. Some of these demons he condemned to do the heavy work on the construction of the temple, others he shut up in prison, and others, again, he ordered to wrestle with fire in the making of gold and silver, sitting down by lead and spoon, and to make ready places for the other demons, in which they should be confined. After Solomon, with the help of the demons, had completed the temple, the rulers, among them the Queen of Sheba, who was a sorceress, came from far and near to admire the magnificence and art of the building, and no less the wisdom of its builder. 55. One day an old man appeared before Solomon to complain of his son, whom he accused of having been so impious as to raise his hand against his father and give him a blow. The young man denied the charge, but his father insisted that his life be held forfeit. Suddenly Solomon heard loud laughter. It was the demon Ornias, who was guilty of the disrespectful behavior. Rebuked by Solomon, the demon said, "I pray thee, O king, it was not because of thee I laughed, but because of this ill-starred old man and the wretched youth his son. For after 3 days his son will die untimely, and lo, the old man desires to make away with him foully." Solomon delayed his verdict for several days, and when after 5 days he summoned the old father to his presence, it appeared that Ornias had spoken the truth. After some time, Solomon received a letter from Ardars, the king of Arabia. He begged the Jewish king to deliver his land from an evil spirit, who was doing great mischief, and who could not be caught and made harmless, because he appeared in the form of wind. Solomon gave his magic ring and a leather bottle to one of his slaves, and sent him into Arabia. The messenger succeeded in confining the spirit in the bottle. A few days later, when Solomon entered the temple, he was not a little astonished to see a bottle walk toward him and bow down reverently before him. It was the bottle in which the spirit was shut up. This same spirit once did Solomon a great service. Assisted by demons, he raised a gigantic stone out of the Red Sea. Neither human beings nor demons could move it, but he carried it to the temple, where it was used as a cornerstone. Through his own fault Solomon forfeited the power to perform miraculous deed, which the divine spirit had conferred upon him. He fell in love with the Jebusite woman Salmonites. The priests of Moloch and Raphan, the false gods she worshipped, advised her to reject his suit, unless he paid homage to these gods. At first Solomon was firm, but when the woman bade him take 5 locusts and crush them in his hands in the name of Moloch, he obeyed her. At once he was bereft of the divine spirit, of his strength and his wisdom, and he sank so low that to please his beloved he built temples to Baal and Raphan. 56.